are in control, man, that looks great.
Jets! Oh my God, it's so beautiful. 78 degrees, Jets football, and we're winning. That's what's going on today. That's why everybody's so psyched. This isn't no happenstance. This is a guarantee, just like Joe Namath said. See that?
There are few things in life you cannot put a price on. Loyalty, tradition, fierce passion. Today is a gigantic family reunion because finally, they're back.
Ledge setter.
I see some gas off the edge. Get that mindset to put your shoulder on somebody.
Dig, drop. You're finished.
Hey, first down. This is weird. Get worse than that side.
Well, hello again, my fine feathered friends. What is happening? This is GreenBean. Welcome to the After Hours Jets Fest, where we kind of follow it up and wrap up all of our ideas that we couldn't get into the previous show over on Jets Talk 24/7, the Talkin' Jets panel with one Matt O'Leary and Ryan from Jets Talk and myself. So now this is the show where we get to take our shoes off, put our feet up, and just talk. Is what we like to do here. It goes into all sorts of weird and absurd places. Wherever you guys want, this is a chat-inspired stream. So it's up to you guys what we want to talk about. I will start by saying hello to you guys. Jets Mess is back in the house. Kevin C, right on. You like that one, Kevin? Yeah, I like to make my own intros. I have to make a new a Monday Night Mock one. I obviously have time. But now it's going to be with all of our, like the last 2 years, 3 years of our new guys, as opposed to the old painful walk through memory lane. But yeah, I have fun making this stuff. It's all new to me, man. I'm an old bag. I don't know how to do this stuff. I'm just figuring it out. So I appreciate it. I do. B2B is back. What's up, B2B? Let's see. Mahitz Tolosi. Yeah, man, right on. Mike Clemens plays pickup hoops with a bowling ball. That's a good one. No stream would be able to begin without Jets Forever and his weekly, if not more, standard Jets heart, the green heart. Mutt Viles is back. Mutt Viles running the show, huh? I think he just created like 20 new members of Jets Talk 24/7. Mutt Viles is one of the, he's the real deal, man. He's the real deal. We love having you here. Fat Gandalf is back. Jeremy's back. Hank is here. Aunt Jets is here. This is so good. Paris is back. Let's see. Patrick Sullivan. Yeah, man. Boozer, Salty Nuts is here. No, I'm not eating Checkers. I don't know if you guys saw the most recent Green Beans Jets pod, but boy, oh boy, man, my wife and daughter went out for the night. Like they stayed at my aunt's. They were house sitting. So my son and I had the whole place to ourselves. And what do? We go out, we get some fast food, some ice cream, and we watch a couple movies. We watched World War Z, and we watched Deadpool. And I got Checkers for the first time in like 15 years. And let me tell you, man, not good. 2 days it took me to get right. I can't eat that anymore. Now, I never could eat Checkers, though. Like, I do love my fast food. I love McDonald's. I love Burger King. I love Taco Bell. I love Arby's too, but that's a different story entirely. But Checkers, can't do it. You know when I used to eat Checkers? When I used to go to Patterson, New Jersey, there was a Checkers there. And I used to go to Patterson late night for some extracurricular bad stuff that I was caught in at the time. And I would stop at Checkers, and they would have like 2 big Bufords for $2, like that kind of stuff. So anyway, Kevin's Bay. I said, oh, so Delaware here, originally grew up. So where you in Delaware, huh? You know, I don't know if you heard, Kevin, but the Jets are a Delaware LLC. Did you know that? Maybe not an LLC, but they're a corporation, Delaware Corporation, which many of my friends' businesses are Delaware too. Even Florida people get Delaware business. It's the friendliest state in the nation for business. You know that I think it's 85% or 75% of all Fortune 500 companies that are based in the US are Delaware. Did you know that? A lot of people don't know that. Fern says, Maraminsky says, congrats on reaching 7,000. I want to thank you for that, man. It's a big one. I didn't think we were going to hit 7,000 for honestly, another 3-4 months, honestly. So we just, right around the new year, it was actually the first week of February, I hit 5. And we just flew right through 6, man. So I'm really grateful, guys. It's fun. I'm starting to get some bigger named guests and stuff coming up in the very near future. I have a big one next week. I'm gonna announce it. I have a big one, especially for me. It's a big one for me. I think you guys will like it. But for not this Thursday, thick of it, the following week, June 2nd, we have a pretty big guest that I could not be more excited to announce to you guys. I'm just not able to do it just yet. It's all but confirmed, though. So what's that? Let me scroll to the bottom and see what you guys are talking about. What did it say? All the predatory lenders are based in Delaware. Is that accurate? I did not know that. Yeah. See, like I said, even Florida, which is very business friendly, Florida companies, when they get down to being a knowledgeable company, Florida is already good. But even Florida companies will go to Delaware and incorporate there because they're very, very friendly. Arby's tacos, no way. No way. You know what Arby's, they rebranded over the past 10 years or so, right? They did a fantastic job because Arby's were disappearing at a rapid rate. Rapid. They were just, I couldn't find Arby's anymore. There was one in East Hanover that I used to drive to from Lake Hiawatha, where I lived. I used to go to an Arby's there, and then that even closed. Turns into a friggin' Boston chicken. That's what Boston Market first, right? But I get a beef and cheddar at Arby's. I'm old school. I get a nice big beef and cheddar. Truth is, I get 3 of them. That's the problem. B2B saying Wendy's is the gold standard. I can appreciate that. I don't like Wendy's the most though. But when you want to nail it down, stop playing games. You're not looking for the cheap way out. Just get a Baconator. It used to be the big classic. Wendy's burgers are no joke. I worked at Wendy's. It's really fresh. You know what I mean? It's like McDonald's just started making their quarter pounders, like never freezing them. That's been Wendy's the whole time. You know how they make the chili, B2B? You know what it is? The chili at Wendy's is just everything that falls off the burgers throughout the day. They just scrape it into this thing, all the oil, all the little burger chips, little burger pieces and stuff. They just scrape it all off the grill and they add some sauce to it. And there you go. Chili. It's fucking awesome. 3 Amigos saying Roy Rogers, dude. Let me tell you, Roy Rogers was the best. In my opinion, the best fried chicken, better than KFC, better than Bojangles and all the other ones. Roy Rogers was the creme de la creme in their heyday. Now there's a couple of Roy Rogers on the turnpike, and there's one in Virginia too. When I'm heading back up north and south, there's one Roy Rogers on the way, and it just doesn't feel the same. But my favorite thing at Roy Rogers was the roast beef, a large roast beef with cheese, bro. Oh my God, I worked at Roy Rogers too. B2B likes it too. Disregard Papa would like to know my thoughts on Chipotle. I think Chipotle is exceptional. I really do. Now I don't crave it often. But I've never had a bad time at a Chipotle. And sometimes I go through my vegetarian phases and they got that, what's it called? Sofritas, I think it's called. But it's excellent, man. And there's lots of tricks. You can get them to add more food and stuff. There's a whole thing you can do there. I think Chipotle is great. I really do. You partied in Lake Hiawatha, Anders? That's my hometown, bro. That's literally my hometown. I was born in Orange. I lived in Barnegat when I was a kid. I grew up in Belleville a little bit, but since I was 7 years old, I lived in Lake Hiawatha till I was 30 or so. That's my hometown, Lake Hiawatha. Lake Hiawatha's rough. Let me tell you, nobody knows. Nobody knows about the old lake. It's not that way anymore. But yeah, man. Good stuff. So Muttfile says trying to stay off the fast food. Yeah, trying to bulk up, but bulk up and not but a skinny guy from high school. Not. Yeah, that's right. Quick, dude. Listen, fast food. You gotta take it easy with fast food, right? You gotta take it easy. You can't rely on it. There was probably a 6-month, maybe even a year of my life where every single day after work, I went to Taco Bell and got 4 taco supremes or soft taco supremes every day for it had to be at least 6 months, maybe a year, every day. Can't do that anymore. I'm going to be 50 this year. I got to calm down. You know what I mean? Double the rice. That's right. For you amigos. Double the rice. Double the bean. If Hershey they were out of guacamole. Oh man, you can't have that. You got to have the guacamole. I would say how are you gonna compensate me? I know, right? Harry says Arby's is doing Kobe beef. You know what? I had a couple years ago. As far as the new Arby's, they have a brisket sandwich, which was I couldn't even believe how good it was. Now it was like $10, something like that. It was crazy, but boy, oh boy, was it good. So let's talk some Jets. Kevin C checking in. He says, Bean, appreciate you and all the Jets content creators. Heard a rumor JD may try to debut Mike White in preseason and flip him for a pick. Thoughts? Well, I haven't heard that outside of just kind of people talking about what's possible. And it's definitely possible. I was surprised. I'm going to be honest. Now, not to say we've heard everything, right? Because maybe we didn't. But I was surprised not to see at least a little interest in him when they put a fifth round tender on him, right? Original draft round tender. But oh wait, hold on. Sorry, Kevin. I just want to say Noel. I'm gonna get to that comment right there. Branch Brook hot dogs, dude. Okay, I just CNC Cola, bro. I'll be there in a second when I'm done. That's the last food thing we'll try. We'll try to get to a little Jets and then we can talk food all night if you want. But yeah, man, I think it would be smart. Like I like Mike White, I do, and a lot of people kind of, in my opinion, they differ from my thoughts as far as the backup quarterback goes. They think we need a vet, which I agree. But a lot of times we want to get like an older guy on the decline, which is fine. But I am also a big fan of a younger guy who's not necessarily good enough to be a starting quarterback, but they're good. Like they can play, nice, strong arm, smart guy, knows your system. I'm a big fan of having a long-term backup quarterback. I love it. I think it's very smart. A guy that if you need him for 2 or 3 games a year, he's going to come in, he's going to give you a chance to win. He's not going to make mistakes, that sort of stuff. Let the rest of the team carry him, but he's got to not make mistakes. Rather than young guy, like every year having a different backup and they come in, they don't know the system and it's erratic, or they look really good one game and then they fall on their face the next. Like Mike White proved last year that he can play. Okay, he can play. He also proved that he's not necessarily going to be the next Tom Brady, right? Like it looked like it for a second there, right? Come on. It looked like it. But I think, having a guy like Mike White around, I think could be really, really beneficial. Unless he, when he's done with his contract, he wants to go try to start. But in that respect, when you have a guy who can come in 2 games, 3 games and look good, other teams are going to think that they can start. So then you can flip them for a pick. So I think it's one of those things where you have to make that decision depending on the round. You don't want to trade him for a 5th or something like that. But if you can have this guy, you're confident in him as your backup quarterback, and then somebody comes in, they think he can start, and they say, hey, I'll give you a 2nd round pick or something for him. That's great. Then you make the decision, is having him here worth more than a 2nd round pick or vice versa? Now, as far as us doing that this year, look, we got Joe Flacco. They only signed him for 1 year, I think, right? 3.5 or 3 million, something like that. So I think Joe Flacco is now at a place in his career where I think he knows he's a backup quarterback. He knows he can come in, he knows he can play, but I don't think he's really trying to go out there and find a starting job, which when he was traded from Baltimore to Denver, he absolutely still thought he was a starting quarterback. And he was a starting quarterback for Denver. That's why they traded for him. Then he had the neck injury and the whole thing. But don't forget, we're all kind of beating up on Ryan Tannehill for saying, hey, I'm not here to mentor Malik Willis. They're all saying, but Joe Flacco said the exact same thing about Drew Lock. I didn't come here to mentor him. I came here to win football games. So I don't think he's there anymore. I think he knows he's settled into being a backup, and he also knows you can elongate your career. He can play another 6, 7, 8 years if he wants to. So if that's your goal, just keep Joe Flacco on the team. You got a long-term backup. He's got a strong arm. He can come in and win games. He can play very efficiently. And if you have the opportunity to showcase Mike White, then yeah, why not do it? Why not? Right? Rather than, because the other side to that is you can think like if Mike White comes in and looks like complete shit, then you got nothing for him and you can't even use him. So there's that. You got to make those decisions. But I like it. You know what the thing is, man? I like having options, right? I like having options. Like they say, the greatest position to be in the greatest negotiating position to be in is when you're okay with both outcomes. You're totally fine with both outcomes. I like my quarterback. I'm good having him here as the backup. Fine with that. But they're offering me a pick. The pick's not high enough. I don't want to move him for that. Now, if they want him, they offer a pick that is high enough. Say a second round pick is my price. If you don't want him, good. I don't really give a shit. I like having him. So that's the best place to be. And I think that might be where we are. I don't think that's the whole motivation for Mike White, Kevin. But that would be interesting. I'm really curious, man. The one thing I like most about Joe Douglas is he seems like he's a forward thinker to me, right? Like we even saw, I think, Kevin, it might even been you earlier in the last stream, we were talking about some of his free agents, and his free agents he has not hit on many, right? We know that. But if you look at the tactic that he was employing with the free agents, he went out there and he took high reward, low risk players. Now there were 4 first round picks, right? So there's Dotson, Davis, Jared, start over, right? There was Dotson, Corey Davis, Jared Davis, and Brashad Perryman, right? So he goes out there and he gives 1-year contracts to former first round picks who didn't make it yet. They look like busts. Now Perryman, he had a really good end of the year before, led the league in receptions and yardage or something like that for the last 6 weeks of the season, something along those lines. So he goes and gives these guys 1-year contracts. Why? Because he told us he was going to build through the draft. That's why the best teams are built through the draft. That's what I intend to do. He told us that from the very, very beginning. The problem with that is you only get certain picks, a certain amount of picks each year. And after the 4th round, maybe even the 3rd, it's literally a crapshoot. So, you're only getting the opportunity to add 2, 3, 4 starting level players each year. So you have to go get free agents. So, but it looks to me like what he was doing, and I'm fairly certain that this is what happened. He's given 1-year contracts to high reward, low risk guys. If I don't like them and they suck, I got another year to get more players through the draft. He filled the position. No fuss, no muss. He counts towards the compensation pick formula if that should work out. But if he works, I got a former first round pick talent for cheap. And then if you like him, you can start negotiating with him before the end of the season. You have exclusive rights, all that sort of stuff. Now, the sad part is none of these guys have worked out. Now, we don't know what's going on with Corey Davis. And Corey Davis is a little bit different, right? We gave him a 3-year contract, really a 2-year contract that we're really locked into. And after this year, we can get out of it if we want to. But if we want him, he's here. So Corey Davis is a little bit different, but the same mindset applies. Former first-round pick, didn't really meet his draft potential, 5th overall pick, I think he was. So, it's stuff like that. But at the same time, he's giving himself time to build through the draft the way that he wants, and he's just filling holes with high reward, low risk guys. So now it would be great if maybe a Jared Davis could have hit. That would have been fantastic if we all of a sudden had a first round level linebacker who was thumping the world and it worked out for us. Then we could just say, hey, we want to keep you for 2 more years and whatever. That'd be great. Didn't work out that way. But that's fine because he doesn't owe anybody anything. So it looks to me like he's just using free agency up to this point to fill some holes so he can draft the players. That's what it looks like. And that in that case, you have to be okay with it because it's going to take time to rebuild it the slow and steady way. So that's how I see it. All right. So I wanted to talk real quick. Noel Saya says, JJ's Hot Dogs in Newark Branchbrook Park. Dude, do you know how many times I have pulled over? My grandmother has been taking me to that particular hot dog place, truck, since I'm 5. We used to play in Branchbrook Park. She would get us a couple of hot dogs. It was like 2 hot dogs and a CNC Cola. I miss CNC Cola. It's the only place you can get it. You can't get CNC down here. It just doesn't exist. They have their own fake sodas, but CNC was legit. But that is my favorite hot dog place, truck in the world. There's no better, in my opinion. So thank you for bringing that back. That is a slam dunk. Slam dunk. Disregard Papa checking in. GreenBean, thoughts on AVT? Some say he's inconsistent. I don't know, man. Can we give guys more than 1 season? I don't understand. I don't understand. He took the first half of the year to learn the offense, right? The whole offensive line was in disarray. The whole first 6, 7, 8 games, they were out of control. Zach was getting murdered. Can we give these guys a more than 1 season to show up? It's like I told you, people were in 2019. I wanted Jonah Williams, right, for a tackle. He got hurt that training camp. He tore his pec and he was out the whole season. Do you know how many people were relentlessly bringing back? Oh, don't worry about him because he wanted Jonah Williams, that bust. Well, dude, he was out the whole rookie year. He came back. He had an okay second year. And his third year, he's a fucking stud. We got to give these guys a minute. It's not, I don't understand the 1 year thing. I really don't understand. I don't come from that era. We gave guys time. Now, some of them come out and play really well. Great. That's best case scenario. But more times than not, guys need a minute to really come into their own. And if it's 2 years, if it's 3 years, so be it. AVT is an absolute stud. He's inconsistent. Sure. He looked like a rookie. You know what I mean? He looked like a rookie. So I don't know, Papa. I think everybody needs to calm down a little bit. I think everybody needs to calm down. We're way too jumpy on this guy sucks. It's all right. It's even a really good example right now. 2 good examples is Mekhi Becton and Denzel Mims. What are we doing as a fan base? A couple of beat reporters write a couple of stories, very negative, personal attack type stuff. And we completely give up on these guys. To me, it doesn't compute. It doesn't. I subscribe to the old method, which is a draft class can't be properly graded until after year 3. That's when you know what you have with these guys, at least for the most part. All the time, guys, they don't make it the first year, second year. They're sloppy. They're trying to get into the game. They're having a hard time. But it's about their work ethic. It's about their intelligence, their ability to absorb the system, how hard they're working, how much they're trying, what are they doing with their downtime, and their progress. So I don't know, Papa. I think you got a case that he's inconsistent. Yeah, sure. But that doesn't mean anything. I think he played really well last year. He played really well on a very spotty offense. You know what I mean? We were learning. Last year was with rookie everything. And don't forget about Greg Knapp. Don't forget about that. People don't like to include, like, it's all excuses. Did it happen or not? Did we have an entire rookie coaching staff with one real vet and as the offensive mind, a guy known as a quarterback guru, an offensive genius? Did we or did we not lose him? He passed away tragically a few weeks before the season. Did that or did that not happen? So I don't know. Is that does that not have an impact on a rookie coach, rookie offensive coordinator, rookie defensive coordinator, rookie quarterback, rookie left guard, rookie wide receiver, rookie running back? I don't know. It seems like it would have an impact to me. Now again, this is their second year. I'm not saying they these excuses should carry them for 10 years. At the same time, I think we have time. I'm really happy with the progress that they made on the offense last year. We got downright exciting at times. I still can't believe we saw a hook and ladder. That alone lights me up. Old Dave Echeverry, he says, Dallas Cowboys had Garrett Wilson number 4 overall on their big board. The combination of him with Moore will create coverage nightmares in linebackers and safeties and run-pass conflict that will open tight end separation. Dude, I couldn't agree more. Now, Dave, did you hear about Sauce Gardner? I saw a little tweet today, said Sauce Gardner completely locked Garrett Wilson down to the point where Zack Wilson had nowhere to throw it. Now, I saw a tweet or two that said, fucking Sauce is going to do that to everybody. He's such a stud. And I saw a tweet today that said that's because Garrett Wilson sucks and he's a fraud. He's not the guy. Like, really? One practice, one OTA? That's all he gets? I don't know. I don't know, buddy. What's up, Deli? Good to see you. Let's see what we got here. See you, B2B. You have a good night, buddy. People forget how hard this game is. Yeah, I think, especially because our system is known as complex. So when it's not just the system itself is complex, it's that you have guys leading the system that have never done it before. They've always had Kyle Shanahan, above them. Never. It's the first time being the big boy. That's why Greg Knapp was so important. You know? Freedom Face, not much info on Jermaine Johnson. Any thoughts? No videos. How much pics? Yeah, I haven't seen anything on him. I'll tell you what, though. Let's do this. Did you guys see this? Let's see if I can do this. You guys see this yet? Let me see. Hold on. Let me turn this off for a second. I want to make sure you guys got to let me know if you can hear it. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But I'll play it once through and then you guys let me know if you can hear it. Okay. Did you guys see this yet? This is our owner. So I got to stop it because of the music. Did you see that? What do you guys think of our boy? What do you guys think of that? You know what I mean? What do you guys think of our boy? Now, I'm going to show you something else too. Hold on. Let me know if you can hear it. I'll wait for the comments while I look for the other thing. Hold on. So, you guys see this? Just take a look. It just doesn't mean anything one way or the other. Let me see if you guys, let me take that comment off. Sorry. Let me see if could you guys hear it? Yeah. Woody having fun, man. Woody having fun. You know, I'll tell you what, he clearly hired a good social media team because they are changing his image in a very, very funny and consistent way. All right, let's show you this. So this is Denzel Mims out there at practice today or yesterday. Still wearing 11. Looks crisp, right? There he goes. There's Berrios. That was Miles Austin. So there, Garrett Wilson with him there. I think that was Lawrence Cage or two. I might be wrong with who was standing next to him. But yeah, man, he looks. I mean, there's nothing one way or the other about that. But there's a few. Let me see something here. Hold on. Where's the New York Jets? Oh, come on. Where's the original page? Let's see. Maybe we'll do this. There was a few videos I found. I don't know where they are. Hold on. That's silly. What are they talking about? Ozark? Wait. I wanted to show you a couple little clips. But where's the New York Jets? There they go. Okay, so let's see what we got here. All right, let's do this one. Hold on. All right. Can you guys all see this? I want to make sure you can see it. Let me see. Looks good, right? Yeah. I know it's funny, right, Mitz or Mahitzi? But I'm afraid they're gonna tag me and they get me in trouble. They put me in copyright school. All right, let's take a look at this one here. Let's see what's going on here. Well, let me lower the music. There's no reason to have it on. There he goes. Look at this beautiful, pretty ball right in Corey Davis's belly. I'd rather see him catch it outside of his hands. I mean, outside of his body, but it is what it is. He was covered. Who was covering him? Okay. Okay. So there's that. Let me see. This is 17 seconds. All right, hold on. Let's see what Zacky's saying.
Talked to Robert about you over the last couple weeks or so, and he said you're beefy. He said,
that dude's beefy. You guys seen him?
and today he said you were thick.
Oh, good.
What is the off-season program like to get beefy and thick?
Yeah, I think it was probably the first time in my life I've taken, a bigger approach on the nutrition side of it rather than just the lifting. Of course, every year you do your typical strength training and lifting and running, but typically you just try and eat healthy. But I try to, actually have a written plan of how much to eat, when to eat, tracking everything down to the macro. Have somebody help me with all that stuff, and that's probably been the biggest difference as far as just being able to put good weight on.
So he's beefy, right? So he's beefy, and they're talking about what did he say? He said, my nutrition program. So who's giving him the nutrition program? What do we say all the time about rookies, right? Like they come in, they have their whole college season, then they have, the combine draft stuff. They're doing all that. Then they have all the visits, all the interviews, then the draft, then the combine happens, right? Then you got the draft. Then they have rookie mini camp. Then they have OTAs. Then they have the season. So it's the off season after their rookie season that matters so much. Now, with what the Jets are doing, guys, this is where it gets really interesting. Our medical staff under Dr. Deweese was just implemented right before the season last year. It was last off season. So last year was their rookie year, trying to install and implement all of their new philosophies, completely new. So Dr. Deweese was preaching player-specific protocols, which means that we don't have the exact same problem. Like if you twist your ankle, we always do the same thing. They're gonna take into consideration what the player, what their body type is, what their track record is, and whatever else. And they're going to create protocols for that player. Every single person has their own specific protocols. Now, I don't know if that's what Zach is talking about, but this is his first NFL offseason. And look what happened. He put on 6 pounds of muscle, and it all looks like it's in his upper body. So you don't want to lose your fluidity and your mobility. At the same time, Zach's already known to have a strong arm, but maybe they can add a little bit on that. But I think where a lot of this would matter is his ability to weather hits and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Being able to shake off guys and all that, being stronger in the pocket. So when you look at their first offseason, like judging Zach on last year, sure, there are some quarterbacks that come out. Joe Burrow, Herbert are two recent guys that really are on the other side. They're on the other extreme, the pendulum, right? So they're on one side. They came out and just looked amazing their rookie years. But more times than not, guys that even look okay, it's rocky, and doesn't mean that they suck. You give them their first year, they take a bunch of lumps. The offensive line was porous. The wide receiver, we had issues, number 2 in the NFL for catchable balls dropped. 3 of his interceptions were in his receiver's hands first. So theoretically, even if you just took that away, he has 9 touchdowns, 8 picks. If just that alone, just that one number. Now, we don't know what would have happened after that, but it's just one of those things. But you look at his rookie season, he gets the whole offense. He knows it now. He calmed down at the end of the year. He mitigated and in most cases eliminated the turnovers. He looked calmer. He looked like he knew the offense. He was running it more efficiently. He was more efficient. And now he got his first NFL offseason with Dr. Deweese. Don't forget, Dr. Deweese, this is their first offseason being able to implement their stuff with their players. So the first results are Zach put on 6 pounds of muscle. So it looks good. And what did he say there? He said, well, this is my first year really focusing on the nutrition in addition to the weights, the running, and all that. So this is the first year he really focused on the nutrition side. Look what happened. My hope and my first thought is that that's one of the protocols in place by our staff. And that's what we want to see. If this medical staff, Dr. Deweese was very bold when he was hired. He said, we're going to create something here that the entire NFL is going to want to emulate. That's how high they're shooting. They're not just saying, we want to improve injuries. No, we want to change the NFL. That's what we're doing here. We're going to be groundbreaking. So with that thought being considered, let's remember to give them some time to really get this going. And who knows, maybe in a year, 2 years, we have the least injuries in the NFL and everybody's healthier. Who knows, man? Yoitz checking in. Thank you. He says, went to Busch Gardens over the weekend. Pantheon and Rebolton were 2 of the best coasters I've ever ridden on. You got to go, bro. Well, as you know, Busch Gardens is my home park. Can you lower that, please? Little one. Lower that. Wow, it's loud. So Busch Gardens was my home park before we left on the coaster tour. So I was at Busch Gardens, I don't know. I mean, at least 15, 20 times, at least. So, but they didn't open Pantheon before I left. It was supposed to open before I left. I had fast passes and backstage construction tickets and all kinds of stuff. But it never happened because of COVID. So now they're opening it, and I haven't been there yet. So Yoitz beats me to the punch. But let me tell you, Verbolten is a very underestimated coaster, isn't it? Verbolten is badass. It's such a good coaster. Very unique, great story. A lot of surprises. But Pantheon, I can't wait to get on it, man. We're going to be working that out soon. I'll be there not too long from now. I just got to get into this house first, Yoitz. I got to get into it. But thank you for the report, man. I'm glad to hear it. I haven't seen too many negatives about Pantheon. That coaster looks badassery supreme. That's what it looks like. Thank you. So yeah, Boozer checking in. He says, I totally agree. We need patience with some of these players, with all of them, really. Like we have to get out of this mindset where as soon as there's difficulty, we want to cut and run. Cut them, fire them, get rid of them. It's like, when are we going to stop craving that? Like, we have to stop craving that. We're like bloodthirsty. What I crave is the Ravens. I want a team here that we have the same coach for a decade or more. We have the same GM for a decade or more, same coordinators, or at least the same guys coming up in our system that when we do lose a coordinator to a head coaching job or what have you, that the next guy, our quarterback coach, our wide receivers coach, our running back coach, they know the system well enough and they're good enough that they could step right in, that we don't miss a beat. You don't have to bring in a new guy and start this whole new philosophy, getting him to know yours, and then he's teaching the players different things. And, I would love to get to a point where that's our organization. And then on top of that, you have a quarterback that's here for 10 years. You have wide receivers that grew up with him, that have been with him more than a season or two. Like for us, if a wide receiver and quarterback have been together for 2 years, it's been a long time for us. Like, even Crowder was here for 3 years. He had 4 quarterbacks, 2 really starting, Sam and Zach, but he played with Flacco twice. He played with Sam Darnold, obviously. He played with Trevor Siemian. He played with Luke Falk. He played with Mike White. He played with Joe Flacco again. It's like, you know what I mean? Like we have to stop craving that. We want stability. That's what we want. How long have we been able to hate Bill Belichick or Tom Brady or any of these guys? John Harbaugh has been down at the Ravens forever. Tomlin's been with the Steelers forever. Look at Pete Carroll up in Seattle. And again, it's all over the place. The best organizations have guys there for a long time. Even McVay has been with the Rams now, 6 years or something like that? Kyle Shanahan's been with the Niners a while now. So I'm with it. Yeah, Wild Wave talking about Woody. So at least he shows he cares, man. He's engaged. He's trying. He's trying to reach out to us, And do I believe that he's running his social media, like he's sitting there tweeting all day? No. But I believe he does. And I believe that he has a group of people managing that for him. And I think that's smart. He wants to engage the fans, and that shows something, Marshall, were you talking about Zach with that one? He says, watch the voice inflections. Okay, let's watch this. Who's this? This is who is this? Is it Michael Clemens? No. That's who's Mr. Get Flea? Vinny Curry. That's right, 99. Duh. All right, let's take a listen to Vinny Curry real quick. See what he's talking
about. Little things. It really make you appreciate little things, like that. Me even seeing you guys and not on Zoom is appreciated, and I really thank you guys for even taking the time out to even, listen to me. Like, man, I missed it all. I did. I really did. I missed it all. And you can't, I never took it for granted, but just being laid up like that, it was that moment was scary, and it really shows you what the game means to you. What it provided. So many different levels. It's just another piece in your chapter that you could just write down. And come the first preseason game, you're just gonna be out there like, damn. You look at you. No matter what they throw at you, you just stand tall. And I just hope that could inspire somebody else down the road. So
yeah, it really what the word I'm hearing there, guys? Grateful, gratitude. That's what we're hearing. You know what I mean? Beefsteak Wilson. So that's what we're hearing there. Look at. Again, I've told you guys this, and I just want to make sure that you understand my point. I'm not a homer. I happen to like what's going on right now, so I talk about that. But 3 years ago, I was considered a doom and gloomer, with Adam Gase. I couldn't stand it. I tried to be as positive as I could, but I found it almost impossible, right? So people were saying, man, you're doomy. It's like, well, it's hard, man. So now because I like Joe Douglas, I get called a homer a lot. And not to say that I don't have homer aspects to me. I do. I am a fan. But at the same time, I just happen to like it. But I'm not convinced that Robert Saleh is a great head coach. I'm not. I've seen some things that give me hope. But overall, I was not all that impressed. That said, he's a rookie. Again, lost Greg Knapp. The whole thing was tossed up. He had that whole thing going on with his house, rookie quarterback, all the stuff. So I'm willing to go, okay, great. He and Joe Douglas seem to be lockstep, and that has value. But if Robert Saleh can be the head coach for a while, it's going to be great because clearly he motivates people. At least he has that. People want to play for him. They respect him. They feel like he respects them. But what Vinny Curry's talking about here, man, is permeating through the entire organization. This is not the same old Jets. It's not a collection of big named has-beens that are getting their last paycheck. That's not what it is. It's largely a young core with a couple well-placed vets that are grateful to be here. Vinny Curry, he, a lot of people, thought that he was done. I did. I thought that was the end of his career. Right. Me too, Ant Jets. I love the character players we keep bringing in. It's fantastic, man. It means the world. Like, we are largely young guys. Even some of the vets that we brought in, DJ Reed, Whitehead, these are young guys. Even Conklin's young. Ozoma's a little bit older. Obviously, Laken Tomlinson's older. But by and large, man, we have an influx of young talent, hardworking talent that is very impressionable. And we happen to have leaders like Vinny Curry, CJ Mosley, Carl Lawson. Laken Tomlinson is known as a leader. So we have those guys placed within within the team at specific spots to make sure that the young guys don't go off course. But we got guys in here that aren't known for going off course. Dude, 3 years ago, we had Jamal Adams and Sam Darnold as the pillars of this place. That's who it was. It's going to be fun. And that's the thing. For the first time in a long time, I was excited about last year too, but I knew what last year was. I thought we'd win a couple more early. I really wanted to beat Sam. I really did. I really wanted to beat Sam, and I really wanted to beat the Patriots. I didn't want to lose like that to the Patriots. Both games were just gross. You know what I mean? And I was upset by that. I'm tired of losing to these teams. And Sam, Sam and Robbie doing the bomb and the whole jet wing thing. I'm so sick of it, man. I'm sick of being able to be poked like that. I'm sick of it. But I knew what last year was. Last year was a year to take lumps. So when people talk about the record, I'm like, I don't know. What did you expect the record to be last year? Really? We all hoped that they'd win more games. Sure. I'm hoping we win every game. That's the truth. Not the last year of Gase. I was rooting for 0-16. I got to be honest. But overall, it's like, what did we expect? We started more rookies than anybody else. Again, Greg Knapp, rookie coach, blah, 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 blah. It's all that sort of stuff. But I don't know. I like that they had the balls to commit to that under fire. They knew what the media was going to do. They knew how the fans were going to react. And they did it anyway. Why? Because it's the right thing to do. That's what they decided to do. And I respect that. So now this year is going to be fun because I believe the way that they handled the offseason was different than the years previous. Bunch of one-year contracts, Tyler Croft, keep Ryan Griffin around, use an undrafted free agent pick on a tight end, old running back, use a 4th round pick. What they did this year was they went out and they grabbed 2 of the upper tight ends available. Now, granted, we know Njoku and Dalton Schultz and those guys, Kazicki, they were all franchised, so that took a nice crop of tight ends off the list. But out of who was left, they went and got 2 and used a 3rd round pick. They're telling us we are ready to use our 12 and maybe even 13 personnel. 2 and 3 tight end set. Not only that, They already had Michael Carter. They had Tevin Coleman. They could say P. Ryan, Ty Johnson, Austin Wall. They went out and used a second-round pick on a running back. Why? Because they're ready. That's what I think. Because they're ready. Now, do I think that they think this is their Super Bowl year? No. But they're ready to stop the bullshit. They're ready. And they were aggressive. Joe Douglas, in the last 2 years, we looked at him as a guy that would like to trade back and acquire assets, trade players and acquire assets, acquire mid-round picks. Last year, he used all those late-round picks to move up and get guys. Yeah, Fat Gandalf talking about Pete Carroll. Yeah. Hey, man, Pete Carroll, see that way. You know what people don't remember, Fat Gandalf? The Pete Carroll thing was interesting because it wasn't like we hired Pete Carroll as a head coach. Hold on a second. So we didn't just go out there and hire Pete Carroll as a head coach. We hired Bruce Coslett as our head coach. And Bruce Coslett was the dynamic offensive mind that got the Cincinnati Bengals to their first Super Bowl. And with Boomer Esiason and those guys. So we hired him. Pete Carroll was on his crew. But what was happening was it looked like Bruce Coslett wasn't a good head coach. So they fired him and kept his staff and just made Pete Carroll the head coach for 1 year to see if they could do it. Now, we started that season 6-4. And then the fake spike game happened. And we didn't win another game the rest of the year. So the owner knew this ain't it. These guys, they couldn't even win one more game after that. Like it had completely sucked the wind out of the entire team. That's not a good coaching staff. They got to be able. We were fighting for first place in the fight in the fake spike game. And we were up 24-6 or whatever it was. I was at that game. I remember, man, we were dancing in the stands. First place, baby, killing the Dolphins. All right. And then that happened. You know, we only won from the fake spike game on. We won 4 games over the next 2.5 years because we lost out the rest of the games. We had 6 more games. We lost all 6 of those. Then we won 3 games the next year and 1 game the following year. 4 games in 2.5 years. That's how bad it was. And it was still not as bad as Gase. But the point being, Pete Carroll was young. You can clearly see that he was an up-and-comer, right? Because, the Patriots ended up signing him as their head coach 2 years later. Yeah. When we stole Parcells from them, they went and hired Pete Carroll as their coach, their head coach. So, but that's the thing. We got to just remember the details, right? It wasn't like, we hired Pete Carroll and fired him after 1 year. It's not really accurate. We gave the coaching staff that was built under Bruce Coslett 1 more year without Bruce Coslett, and it didn't work. It was working, but they lost the whole team. So, right? Fat Gandalf was fired him at 1 year. It's not exact. It's true, but it's not exactly it. Not exactly it. Thank you for the super chat. He says, love the videos you've been making lately. Always looking forward to them. Been a Jets fan from LA for a minute. Hoping to see all of you week. Oh, you're going to fly in, man? Week 1? Is that what you're saying? Oh, sorry. That would be great. Well, look, we're going to tell you guys. Like, I was just talking to Sack. He was. I'm on a thread with those guys right now. I just haven't been able to look at it. They were writing some stuff. But I'll reply after the stream. But yeah, dude, we got a lot of it locked down. And we're going to tell you guys like where the tailgate is. Sometimes what you do is sometimes tailgates are run like this. Like you come, you bring, you bring the dogs, you bring the steaks, you bring 50 sausage patties or the buns. Sometimes we do it that way, but I think this year it's going to be all done, and you guys bring whoever's coming. You bring $20 or $30, or you don't really eat with us. You just come and hang or something. I'm not sure how it's being run this year, but we're all going to be there, Eric. Like we're going to tell you guys where we are, and I know I'm at least hanging with Sack from Twitter, and his Jet Lounge guys. A lot of cool guys in that group. And we're going to be with Ryan and Matt O'Leary, Richie from Jets Media. I'm not sure if Ali's coming or not. I just don't remember if he said yes or not. I know we included him. Jack from Jets Media, and I believe Tyson in Primetime from Let's Talk Jets. So it's going to be a cool group, man. And then obviously everybody else, but just those guys. So we're going to be telling you guys where we're going to be. Last year, we made the mistake, even though it was a great time, we made the mistake of telling people we were going to be in one spot. And we were. And then just kind of, we went over here to see this guy real quick. And then we went from there over here to see that guy. Then Fireman Ed's having his birthday right here. And we kind of did that. And the next thing you know, it was time to go in. So we hung out with Jetnation and Phil and those guys for a little while. We hung out with Gotham City for a little while. Then we went to Tyson and Primetime, hung out with them. Then we went with Fireman Ed and hung out with him. And then, like I said, next thing you know, it was time to go in. So we're not going to do that this year. We're going to be where we are, and we're going to tell you guys where we are. So if you want to pop in, you pop in and hang. Now, dude, it was fucking great last year hanging with you guys. That's why it sucked when we went in. And Mutt Viles, that's right. Mutt Viles is there, boy. Let me tell you, Mutt Viles runs that shit. He's the secret brains behind the operation, Mutt Viles. It's right. I met both of them. I met John too. Well, I didn't meet you that time. I saw you again. I met John at the Coney Island Cyclone, which, John, we're talking about Coney Island Cyclone Jets Chant Part 2. I'll know within a week or so if we're going to do that. And I'll tell you guys, I think it'll be a little bit bigger this year. It'll be so cool. You know, and if you guys don't know what we did, we met up. I guess we had 20 of us, 20 Jets fans met up. Me, Sack Exchange, Joe the Comic, John, some other guys. We all met up at the Cyclone, the Coney Island Cyclone, that classic roller coaster. And we did a Jets chant from the top of the Cyclone. The world's tallest, fastest Jets chant in history. That's what I called it. Let me see. I could show you guys. I'll show you real quick, okay? Just so we can talk about that. Hold on. Let me show you guys. Got to find it. I think I still have it here. There it is. I'm going to show you. This is 38 seconds, so bear with me. I'm going to show you guys right now. Okay, hold on. J-E-T-S, Jets, Jets, Jets. Woo! So there you go. See, that was just a clip. There's a full video out there of our whole day. We went to Nathan's, right, John? We went to Nathan's and we went to L&B Spumoni Gardens. Shoof, what a day. So we're talking about doing that again this year, like maybe the Saturday before the game. Because I'm going to come up there a couple days early and try to get some things going on. So, yeah. Maybe I'll let you guys know. I'm really hoping that we can put it together. It might be too much to squeeze in, but maybe we do it that Saturday before opening day. So a lot of people, if they're coming in, if you guys are flying in, we can, we can all meet at the Cyclone. It's only $10 to ride. It's great. Remember that, Deli? Yeah, we wanted Chip Kelly as head coach. I'll tell you who I did want, and it's a shame because he was fired right in the beginning of Rex Ryan's tenure. Hold on. So Rex Ryan was still a great coach, but when they fired Andy Reid, I was like, oh, what an opportunity. I couldn't believe the Eagles fired him. So silly. Now, look, they got a bowl, so they're fine. They got a Super Bowl with the next crew, so it is. No, they hired Chip Kelly after that, but it took them a while. But, man, how do you fire Andy Reid? And that's, they felt like he could never win it. But, man, But that was like right after 2009 or 10 or something. It was like, we can't move on from Rex at that time, nor did I want to. But the Chiefs got real lucky there. Let's see. Gangrene checking in says, look at the history of great tight ends over the last 2 decades. They're usually blocking tight ends with receiving upside. Drafted day 2 to early day 3. I have a great feeling about Ruckert. Yeah, well, that's the thing. A lot of times in college, Gangrene, tight ends, their receiving isn't really what teams are utilizing them for. They're nice, couple well-placed receptions, but they got to know how to block. Now, the problem with that comes in when you get a guy that can only block. I'm not a fan of of singular purpose tight ends. I'm a huge tight end guy. I love tight ends. I don't know how teams can't realize the benefit of having fantastic tight ends. But when you have a dual purpose tight end, a guy that can legitimately block in line and can be a legitimate receiving threat, good hands, good, reliable outlet for the quarterback, and then is also resistant toward going down. Like if they're 260 and above, man, why do you got to go down when a 180-pound guy runs at you? Fucking get off me. You know what I mean? So when you do that, when you take these tight ends in the 4th round and they can block, and you have a sneaking suspicion they can catch, like Ruckert's, dude, you see some of the catches he made? His hands are so underappreciated. He can catch anything. And toward the end of the year in 2020, dude, Fields relied upon him in those championship games, in the playoffs and stuff. But, dude, it's exactly what we want. Now, Conklin and Uzoma can both block adequately enough, and they both have very, very good hands, and I can't wait. And Ruckert's going to be a stud, and I still love Yeboah. He's not as solid of a blocker, but he's a decent blocker. Once he gets to the defensive backfield, he's pretty good, but he's not the best inline blocker. He's just not that good at it, but he can. But anyway, I think your main tight end should be dual purpose. I agree. Let me see what we got here. Where'd it go? Chris Bradigan checking in. What's up, Chris? Thank you. He says, we're going to punch the Ravens in the mouth. Chris, let me tell you, I firmly believe that. You know what I think? I think that the Ravens are a very well-coached team. They're also a very they're an organization that is not like they're not like slapdick, you know what I mean? Like they are well run. They're pros. At the same time, even pros, week 1, I think they won 7 games last year. Forgive me. I forget what it was. 8 games, 7, 8 games, something like that. Lamar Jackson was hurt. They had some other injuries. They had a lot of injuries last year. Remember, they started Josh, our guy. What the hell is his name? Josh Williams? Forget. But they started him for a week or 2. But so they had their issues. But here's the thing. They now got rid of their number 1 wide receiver. They still got Bateman and Duvernay, and they still got their tight ends. But they're coming back after a season that was thrown into the air last year. Lamar Jackson is he's a great arm and everything, but he's a mobile quarterback. He's a running quarterback. Running quarterbacks don't traditionally make it that long. He's in his 4th year or 5th, right? 5th year. And he's never had 4,000 yards. I think it's like 2 3,000 and 1 2,000. And then obviously his rookie year, he only started like 6 or 7 games. But he's very, very good. He can kill you all by himself. But that week, they might not be prepared for how hard we're going to punch them in the face. And I think they're going to need a minute to kind of get all their engines going again. And if we take advantage of that with a very quick, well-placed pop to the chops, we can take that game. I know we can. And we're going to be there helping in any way that we can with our energy. We got to go in there positive. You know what I mean? I'm with you, Chris. Kevin C. checking back in. Thank you, Kevin. He says, week 1 is going to be lit. Haven't heard so many Jets fans coming to a game in years. I'm in the 300s and so excited to see us pack out MetLife. That's right. You know, last year, I have to say, like, I've been to many opening day games, many. like, I don't know, 20, something like that, 15. Opening day. The last 3 games I've been at MetLife were all opening day. I was there. I took my son to his first ever home game. Oh no, I took him in 2015 to his first ever home game. He'd been to a bunch in Miami when we lived down there, but his first home game was Jacksonville in 2015. But then his first home opener was the Bills game. The Sam Darnold got mono right after that game when the kicker missed, an extra point and a field goal and we lost by 2. That game. And I took him to the next one. But anyway, the last 3 games I was at that I've been able to get to there were opening day as well. Last year was the highest energy I have seen since, Parcells maybe Rex. Rex's first 2009 was an amazing opening day. But last year was really good. High energy, man. And it was the most high positive energy that I've seen in a long time. This year is going to be double that. I really believe that. We are going to be seething. Like it's just going to be exuding like the ravenous, positive, fierce energy. And we got to give it to the team. They have to capitalize on this game. If we go out there and play all soft and slow, I'm going to be very disappointed. They'll be smart, but we got to go out there and fucking go just from the opening bell, give them a straight right to the jaw. That's what we got to do. Make Lamar beat you, dude. So take away the rest of the team, and not that he can't, because he can. You make him beat you game 1. That's what you do. That's my thoughts. Jets are the sleeper team, yoits. I'm with you. What did Bleacher Report call us? The dark horse Zack Wilson is the dark horse candidate to lead the league in touchdowns. Why would he say that? Why would they say that? Zack Wilson is the dark horse candidate to lead the league in touchdowns because his arm is one of the stronger arms in the league. He's young. He's got a great work ethic, great attitude. He's professional. He didn't complain about anything last year. He calmed down the last end of the year. Even though we didn't win, dude, he settled it all down. Okay, played well. The end of the year, the Texans, the Jags, the Patriots, the Bucks, all those teams. He played well. Not one turnover. And we look at the weapons we gave him. He now has Elijah Moore, Corey Davis, Garrett Wilson, Conklin, Uzoma, Ruckert, Mims, Berrios, Breece Hall, Michael Carter. Dude, we have weapons. Legit. Let's see what Salah's saying. What is this? Can you guys see this? Let me see.
What's up? Were you dapping it up today? Turn up, man. Let's get it. Oh.
Look how happy everybody is. Look at that Uzoma. I love that guy.
Let's do this. Good morning.
There's Mims. There he is. Sauce. Look at all our boys.
What's good?
You're good.
Great. Another day to be great. There we go.
There's Lake and Tomlinson. Look at all our guys.
Actually, it's afternoon. I'm tripping. What's up?
There he is.
Found it. The grass is green. The sky is blue. We got work to do.
See, look at the difference, guys. Can you see it? Can you feel it? Can you feel this? It's not a bunch of, hey, look at me, look at me. It's a bunch of guys having a legitimately good time, believing in what they're doing. It's happy. It's positive. It's upbeat. It's legit, man. It's crazy. You know what's funny, Jack, is that people like to say now the Jets have the longest playoffs, drought in the league right now. That's fine. It's still not as long as the Cleveland Browns, just because they've recently got in. Ours is longer right now. And don't forget, The Bengals did not win they haven't been to the playoffs in 15 years or whatever, 10 years, but they haven't won a playoff game since the 90s, dude. Since the 90s. And they said the same stuff about them. Zach Taylor, who is this guy? Right? Remember everybody laughed at them when they took Jamar Chase over Penei Sewell? Remember? How'd that work out? You got to have the balls and the conviction. I thought it was a stupid move too, as much as clearly Jamar Chase was a stud muffin, and clearly giving him back to Joe Burrow was a good move, but not over Joe Burrow's protection after he got the knee injury and all that stuff. So I thought it was poorly managed. Look how it worked out. Right? They had their conviction and they came out of nowhere and they made it to the Super Bowl. Now, do I think the Jets are making it to the Super Bowl? Probably not, guys. But there's no reason in hell we can't come out and play much better than these teams, than these pundits think, and surprise everybody. That's all we want. We want like DJ Gupalini. Yeah, I like that. DJ Gupalini. Or it's Guapalini. I think it's Goop. I want to say Gupalini. Maybe it's Guap. He says 7 wins. Yeah, that's my floor. That's what I think. 7 to 9 wins. It's a success. And we're on our way. Then you add the guys next year, whoever it is, your first round pick, probably a snarling beast linebacker or somebody like that. You know, our defensive ends are coming into now all the rookies are in their second year. The other guys, Elijah Moore, Zach, going into the third year. Just keep stacking. We need 7 wins this year. That's what I need. Jeremy asks how much. Yeah, I'm looking at 7 to 9, Jeremy. That's what I'm looking. Now, I'm going to be rooting for more. I want to make sure I say that, right? I want to make sure I say that, but I think 7 to 9. It's a rousing success. And I think, look, 7 wins and a few of those games, 2 or 3, like heartbreaker losses. We're too young. We don't know how to close it out. That kind of stuff. You lose in the last end of the game. As frustrating and painful as those are, it's important. It's important to go through that phase, in my opinion. But we just got to keep the band together, man. We got to keep rocking and keep walking forward together. That's what we got to do. Mutt Files checking in, showing your age. Hello, in the 30s are hitting you. LOL. Yeah. That's very nice of you, Mutt Files. My first opener Patriots game was last year. It was so energetic. Wasn't it good? That's where I met Mutt Files. It was good. It was good. It was a really good time. And it was so cool to finally get to hang out with O'Leary and Ryan together and to meet Tyson and the guys in Sack Exchange. And obviously I went and saw Jetnation, but it was so good to see everybody. Claudio from Gotham City and everybody. We have the best damn fan group. We really do. That's why I hate that we're always so mean to each other. It bothers me. Why can't we be supportive? Why can't we get there? Why can't we do that? And Mutt Files says 12 wins. Yeah, hell yeah, Guapalini. I'm sick of it too, buddy. Gangrene says we have legit pass rush now and a couple legit playmakers in the secondary with Mosley in the middle. We can open up the playbook a little bit defensively, draft a linebacker and free safety next year, and we're cooking. That's exactly it. Now, in truth, to be fair, we have legit potential at the pass rush. We do not know what Jermaine Johnson's going to be. We do not know what Carl Lawson's going to be, right? We don't know if Quinnen's going to take that step. We don't know JFM's going back inside, more 3-tech action than he has been. So, we don't know. Mike Clemens, everybody seems to think Mike Clemens is going to get double-digit sacks. Hey, I'm in, but I don't know. So the truth is, though, Gangrene, is that this is the first time we have legit potential to have a legit pass rush. We have been hoping that some, late round pick, undrafted free agent or scrap heap free agent signing, waiver pickups we're going to somehow light up the league. That's what we've been hoping for for years. Not anymore. The guys like Solomon Thomas and Vinnie Curry and those guys, those are depth now. 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago, Vinnie Curry, Solomon Thomas were our designated starters. They were coming in here to start. And we as fans were going, hey, man, Solomon Thomas was a first-round pick. He's had a couple decent years, maybe going back inside. They had him playing outside. That's what we're always talking about. Maybe. This year, we have legit potential. We got young, beastly potential. And guys, dude, if Carl Lawson and Jermaine Johnson hit, what that'll do for Quinnen and JFM, dude, then we're on fire, man. If those guys end up being that pass rush that Gangrene's talking about here, everything gets changed. Then our cornerbacks are getting picks because the quarterback's not sitting comfortably in the pocket, slicing us up. You know what I mean? It's a whole different thing. Let's see. Yusuf Rashid says, I'm high on Pinnock at safety. Saleh has shown he's great at developing safeties when he was in San Francisco. Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm high on Pinnock. I like that. I like the idea. Pinnock had a couple real clams, man. He had a couple nice plays, but overall, he wasn't, but he was new. So you give it to him, but like, he's not, and for me, he didn't give me enough that I think, oh man, we got a gem. We got a diamond in the rough here. But I like the idea too. And, I imagine they do because they chose not to take a safety in the strongest safety class in recent memory. I find that odd. I really do. This was the draft class that you could, in the third or fourth round, you could have got a safety that could be starting caliber right away. That's how deep this class was. But if they like Pinnock and they like Ashton Davis to turn a corner, they added Jordan Whitehead. You got Elijah Riley. You got Will Parks. Like, if they like these guys, don't forget, too, we have Nazrul Dean. He was a safety in college, as was Sherwood. I don't know what, they didn't play them at all there last year. Even when we were desperate, they never stuck Nazrul Dean back at the safety spot. I don't know why. But LaMarcus Joyner. So we have some players there, but that's one. Linebacker and safety are the areas that I'm least confident in. Let's hope they can play. How great would it be if Pinnock came out and was amazing, like a Victor Green? Remember, don't forget, guys, Victor Green was an undrafted free agent signing. He wasn't supposed to make the team. As a matter of fact, there was another free agent at the same time, Damon Pieri. He was given the greater likelihood to make the team over Victor Green. Victor Green outworked everybody. And now, right, he's one of our, I wouldn't call him a legend, but he's one of our loved players. Great. We loved Victor Green. We're going to be a run-heavy nickel this year. It'll minimize the linebacker scrutiny. I agree. And that's what we're going to do. I mean, think about it, Sully. If we're only planning to use 2 linebackers at any given time, we have more than enough, right? I mean, we have Mosley. We have Quincy Williams. We have Jamie and Sherwood. We have Hamza Nasruddin. So you got your reserves and everything. I still think they're going to bring in a linebacker. I think, what's the guy's name from Atlanta? I'm frying out. Guy from Atlanta. Let me see. I can't believe I'm not remembering his name. What's his name? Line. What was his name? Deion Jones. Yeah. Knew it was Deion. So, I think June 1st, we're going to see some interesting cuts. That's what I think. And that's what they're waiting for. And if not, then they're going to sign Quan Alexander, maybe. I think they're waiting to see who's going to get cut loose. But like I said, if they're going to run, big nickel, or even dime. You know what I mean? They're going to have more defensive backs out on the field. We're overrun with defensive backs. We added to last year's group. So actually, three when you think about the safeties as well. Yeah, I hear you. I think Pinnock's got a better shot at safety than he does cornerback. I didn't like that pick. I really didn't. I was disappointed with that pick. Now, if we can make something out of him, hold on a second, guys. I'm sorry. I'll be right back. Sorry, just give me 1 second. Sorry about that. Sorry. So, yeah. But hey, look, that's the best thing ever. If Pinnock can end up being like a free safety, that'd be fantastic. Right, Andrew, right. You never know. Again, I'm just not as confident in that as it sounds like you might be. I'm rooting for it. Hell yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot to ask you guys. If you haven't hit the like button, you can do that. Now's a great time to do so. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, that would be fantastic. We just passed 7,000 yesterday. So I really do appreciate it. The channel's only a year and a half old. So I'm really, really grateful, man. I appreciate the support. It's fun. It's fun to get to hang with you guys like this, So it's cool, man. But if you haven't subscribed, it's appreciated. If you want more exclusive content, like tomorrow, what we're doing tomorrow is our monthly classic game watch party. Tomorrow, my group, the Beanbaggers, my Patreon group, we're getting together in a private Zoom room, and we're watching the 2015 Patriots overtime victory when they blew the coin toss in the overtime. What a great game that was. We're going to relive that one. Last month, we watched the Chargers, 2009 Chargers game, Chargers playoffs, where we beat them in the divisional round. That was fantastic. So if you guys want to get in on that, the link in the description that says Patreon is right there. You can click on that and come on in, join the fun, man. It's a good time. It's really fun. I love it, man. I love hanging out with you guys. We do all sorts of cool shit, and you get extra stuff and all that. So it's fun. But you can do that. Yeah, right. DJ Wapolini says like. There you go. What you mean is not just writing like, DJ. You got to hit that little thumbs up, little button. Click, and there it goes. AbLab Studios, what's up? Thank you. He says, hey, Green, did JJ ever play linebacker? Just curious. Jermaine Johnson, I believe he did. I believe so. He was an outside linebacker. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So good. I'm glad you're coming week 1, man. It's an interesting thing. I didn't get any. I don't know why Jermaine Johnson wasn't a part of that NFL Players Association rookie premiere thing. Like, we had our second round pick there, which is interesting, right? Like, one of our firsts was missing and our second round pick was there. So it's like they still wanted to represent that we had 3 first round picks. I'm not really sure, but he wasn't there. So I don't know what happened there. If anybody knows, let me know, but I didn't hear anything on it. But yeah, it's going to be great, dude. If you guys can go to opening day, like people say there all the time, they ask me, hey, I'm thinking of going to a game this year. What game should I go to? For me, it's opening day. There's no better game than opening day. Now, if we have a winning season later in the season, is even better. But as far as like our track record of having miserable games and, losing seasons, like opening day, it's the highest buzz that you can get as far as positivity. It's like we all believe. Everybody in that crowd believes. And it's just, and we packed the place opening day. Later on in the season, once we're, 2 wins and 6 losses, shit like that, you start seeing less Jets fans show up, and then you start seeing more of the other team, and it can be frustrating. It can be frustrating. I know I've been there for that too. But if you're going to pick only one, if you can only do one, get in there opening day, man. If you want to just make sure you have a good time, if you're traveling from somewhere, dude, get on in there. It's like, because I'm in Virginia. And as you guys know, last year I was traveling all over the place. So it's hard for me to get to games. It's not easy. It's like a 6.5 hour trip, I think it is, from where I am, something like that. But so driving up there and, getting the tickets and everything, it's not easy. Now with gas prices, it's even harder. So it's a whole thing. But anyway, I might go to 2 this year, but I'm definitely going to 1. And if I only get 1, it's opening day for me. That's my advice. Do with it what you will. Is that it, Wild Wave? So JJ missed his flight? Oh, poor fella. What a bummer. What a bummer that is, huh? That sucks. Let's see here. Yeah, it was fun. GB515 says that 2015 season was fun. Too bad we missed the playoffs. Dude, it just shows when you depend on losers, they're going to do their thing. They're going to do the loser thing, right? We hired a bunch of mercenaries. Mac got executive of the year for doing it. He took all of Vidzic's money. He spent it on Revis, Cromartie, Gilchrist, Screen, Brandon Marshall, Chris Ivory. Or Chris Ivory we got the year before, I think. But Fitzpatrick traded a 6 for Fitzpatrick. But like Fitzpatrick and Brandon Marshall, as talented as they may be, they've never been to the playoffs. They were 10-5 playing a 3-win team or a 2-win team, and they choked because they are losers. That's what they do as far as game results. And again, I'll remind everybody, I'm not talking about men in their lives. I'm talking about NFL. In the NFL, Ryan Fitzpatrick is a choke artist, and Brandon Marshall, same thing. As good as he is, you can't take away that guy's talent, man. He is a beast. One of the best receivers that we've ever had. But it still sucks. How the hell did we not make the playoffs? And that shows you, like, when we want to give Bowles credit for that season, it's tough because, it was a hired guns. Don't forget, that was also the year that team was built for Geno Smith. Geno Smith got his jaw broken in the locker room. It's crazy, man. Isn't it crazy that really happened? Geno Smith, our starting quarterback, they gave him Decker and Marshall and Ivory, and the defense had Revis and Cromartie were back, and we got Gilchrist and Buster Screen and the nickel, and we did all this stuff. Went and got Breno Giacomini and Robert Carpenter or Ron Carpenter at guards. Like we addressed we built the team for Geno. What ended up happening? He never even played. He came in one game, Ryan Fitzpatrick got hurt. He came in that game, looked like shit, got hurt again, and he was done. So that year was so disappointing. But that game was good. It was a lot of fun that season, man. That was the season I brought my son up there for the first time. Jets Carpetbagger, thanks for the super chat. He says, have you ever been kicked out of a Jets game or other professional sports game, or would have if you'd been caught? What did you do? Wait, is Jets Carpetbagger a cop? What do you think, guys? Should I tell him? I have been kicked out of concerts, and I've also been kicked out of a New York, New Jersey Knights game. Remember them? Remember the World League? The New York, New Jersey Knights? I've been kicked out of that. I've also been kicked out of a Yankee game, believe it or not. But never a Jets game. I'm not really all that bad of a dude. I've been in many fights, like, we get into scuffles and stuff like that, but I've never gotten kicked out. I think, what was I doing for the Knights game? I think we brought in alcohol and they caught us, something like that. We used to sneak beers and, that kind of thing. But yeah, when I was in Cleveland was the worst, but I didn't get kicked out of that game. But that was the biggest fight I've ever been in a stadium. I've been in bigger fights elsewhere. But that was a tough one. I thought we were going to get killed that day, and we didn't. We completely ended up beating the shit out of everybody, but I thought we were dead. There was so many of them. I thought we were going to get killed that day. I literally waved over the cop. Save me. But no, I'm not that bad of a dude. Even when I was a bad dude, which I'm certainly not anymore. I mean, I was a troublemaker to many extents. I was always drunk and stuff, so I'm unpredictable. But I don't know. I loved my Jets games, man. I was like, I wanted to watch the game. You know what I mean? I would yell and I would scream and I would argue. But I've only gotten into some fisticuffs inside the stadium like twice. Small potatoes, pushing, shoving, you know? So sorry, Jets carpetbagger. I don't have too sweet of a thing. I've gotten kicked out of concerts though, for sure, for stupid shit. You know? Yeah, I was Wild Wave. I was a little bit of a scrapper. I never was all that. I don't think I was necessarily that tough. I just think I was underestimated a lot. So I ended up taking advantage of that. You know, I used to fight all the time. I got a hard head, Wild Wave. That's what it boils down to. Let's see. David Gerard says, even though it's early, can we just reflect a minute on the Jamal and Darnold trades now that they are final? Yeah. So let's look at Jamal Adams real quick. And this is like when we talk about Joe Douglas and him being on the hot seat, right? Or we talk about Pierre Desir or Ryan Khalil or any of the other bad free agent signings. When you look at what he did with the Jamal Adams trade, that has to buy so much leniency, like so much credit he's got to get for that. He took a guy who was literally on a tour through media, bashing this organization, bashing the coach, bashing his teammate, like just everything about this place. He wanted out. He was not that good of a player. Like he was good and we liked him. But Jamal Adams, even the year that he had 6.5 sacks, 5 of them came in 2 games, guys. Like we like to look at the end box score, but it doesn't tell the story. I tell people that all the time. Numbers aren't everything. They're important, but how did those numbers come to be? You know, Jamal Adams got 5 sacks in 2 games against the worst 2 teams we played that year. The New York Giants, Daniel Jones, rookie year, and the Washington Redskins at the time with Dwayne Haskins, God rest his soul, his rookie year. Right? He took advantage of Daniel Jones, which is fine. Still great that he did it, but he got 3 sacks, if I remember correctly, on Daniel Jones. It could be the other way around, and he had that strip sack for a touchdown, which was one of the best plays ever. But Jamal Adams got 1.5 sacks the rest of the season, and he has very few big plays. He just doesn't do that. Sure tackler, plays hard, and he's a good player, but his value was the highest it was ever going to be. At that point, he was a 2-time All-Pro. 2-time All-Pro. But he was ripping the organization. Everybody thought his value was super low. They thought Joe Douglas would be lucky to get a first. Lucky. He flipped that guy for 2 first-round picks, a swap of a 4th to a 3rd-round pick, and Bradley McDougall to hold it over for a year. It's fucking unbelievable. It's an unbelievable. Then he went and turned those guys into Elijah Vera Tucker and Garrett Wilson. I mean, we don't know what those guys' careers are going to be, but when we talk about value and impact, dude, what's better than offensive line and a wide receiver? It's our first round wide receiver since 2001 in 21 years. Yeah, right? Like Jamal Adams is a good football player. Like nobody's trying to say that, or at least me. We're trying to say, what is his impact? You see what his impact is. Seattle thought they were getting the final piece to their defense, and that's not what they got. It's not what they got. And he talks on top of it. He just doesn't shut up. So there's that. Then you look at Sam Darnold. Now, let me just make sure I say this the right way. I was not a fan of Sam coming out. I didn't hate him or anything, but I was hoping for Baker Mayfield. That's who I was hoping for. Or, and this is the truth, secretly, like if Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold were gone, I didn't want Josh Rosen. I know a lot of people did. I just didn't. I would said, not that I wanted him, but I said I would rather have Josh Allen with at least he's got the super strong arm and everything, and you can develop him, right? But that I was hoping for Baker Mayfield in that draft. I thought he was the guy. I didn't really love Sam Darnold. That said, when we drafted him, I thought it was the gift of gifts. I said, holy shit. Finally, our big first round quarterback is the guy that's supposed to be the top overall quarterback, right? The end of his rookie year, that first game was amazing. Okay. And then he had some games, right? Denver, he had some really great games his rookie year. But the last 4 games, I thought we had our guy. I'm telling you straight up. I thought we had our guy. The second year with the mono and the this and the that, he still had flashes, and I still thought, okay, well, this season got tossed to the wind. Third year, what I was talking about out there was this is the year Sam Darnold has to make his leap. This has to be it. Because everything led up to this, and I said, and he's primed and ready for it. And when he came out that season, he looked so bad. He looked worse than ever. I knew by game 2, this guy needs to go. I knew it. Now, I was still rooting for him to turn it around and everything. Game 2, you can ask Ryan. I was saying, I'm like, dude, I can't believe it. Like, this is not the guy. He's done. He's done. We ruined him. Whatever it was. We never gave him a quarterback coach, whatever. Now, so that's just my feelings on him. When it was time to trade him or not, when we're talking about Zack Wilson, Sam, I was 99% on trade him. 99%. And if they wanted to trade back with them, I wasn't necessarily on for taking Zack Wilson. Said I'm fine if they do that. But I was fine with trading back to like pick 6 or 7 and grabbing Fields. I was totally fine with that. Or Trey Lance or Mac. I was totally fine with that. Now, I'm happy at Zach. Don't get me wrong. But I wasn't like a Zach homer. Remember how passionately all the people were about Zach? Remember that? People were, I got more DMs during that period. You're a fucking hater, blah, blah, blah. You know, you think we can't see through. I got at least a dozen of these. People saying something to the effect that they think that my objectivity is a veiled hatred of Zack Wilson. I'm like, no. I'm being objective. That's all. They thought me being objective was me just pretending to be objective, and I really hated him. I didn't, but I didn't love him either. Right? But taking Zack Wilson, just pushing all your cards on the table and saying, that's my guy. Taking him, I respect that. And then trading Sam for 3 draft picks. He was the 32nd rated starting quarterback in the NFL. Dead last. He had not changed any of his footwork or mechanic problems. Nothing. Going into year 4, he's about to cost $20 million. The fact that Joe Douglas got 3 picks for him, one which was a 2nd round pick, is unbelievable, dude. It's unbelievable. And look, Sam Darnold, while they didn't fix that offensive line for him, they really didn't help him there. You want to talk about having weapons. He had Christian McCaffrey, Terrace Marshall, DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, a decent tight end in Arnold, right? So it was it's fucking incredible. Now those picks ended up being, in loose terms, Jonathan Marshall was the 6th. The fourth round pick is Max Mitchell, and the 2nd is Breece Hall. So we got, for Jamal Adams and Sam Darnold, we got AVT, Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, Max Mitchell, and Jonathan Marshall. And saved the the Panthers are on the hook for $20-something million, whatever it is for Sam. It's about that. And the Seattle Seahawks now have the highest paid safety in the NFL, $17 million. So not only did we gain all those young players, but we also saved ourselves. We have all of them, all of those players, for less than one of the other ones. And on top of that, guys, I got news for you. Neither one of them are pillars to build around. Neither one. Neither one. So that's the truth of it. And you don't have to agree, but that's how I see that. It's really quite amazing. Deli said we were supposed to get Baker or Lamar at number 6. Well, look, I do understand why Mac traded up, but here's what bothers me about it. He traded up and didn't know who he was getting. Now, we just saw the 49ers do that last year as well, and they paid more. Now, granted, they were a little further back. I think they were 12, right? So they paid 3 firsts and a third. We paid 3 seconds. That's what we paid. So he made a good deal, at least as far as how much those deals cost in a rich quarterback class. But he didn't even know who he was getting. I have a hard time trading away 3 second-round picks unless I know who I'm getting. That's just me. Not to say I wouldn't do it, but that's me. I had a hard time with that one. But I think that McCagnon thought he was getting Baker Mayfield. That's why I think he's. Now, if we stayed at 6, we would have ended up with Josh Rosen. Well, maybe, I don't know. Because if only Baker Mayfield was taken first and we weren't there at 3 and we were there at 6, somebody might have jumped up, but I don't know. Maybe we would have taken Josh Allen. Who knows? We probably would have still got Sam Darnold, or I don't know. But like I said, I didn't hate the trade. I hated that we had to. Like, the truth is, man, is that we should have just taken Deshaun Watson the year before and then kept our 3 second-round picks. Like, you see how it's like it's backwards. We drafted Hackenberg in the 2nd round the year before that. You come out, Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes are on the board when you pick. Instead of taking fucking Deshaun Watson. Now, obviously, Mahomes has become Mahomes, but he was a much iffier of a prospect at the time. A lot of people wondered if he would ever make it. Andy Reid was the best guy for Mahomes to go to. He sat him for that first year, most of it. You know what I mean? Built him right. Would the Jets have done that? Nope. We would have taken Patrick Mahomes, thrown him to the fucking fire with no quarterback coach, no offensive line, no receivers, and he would have been ruined. That's the truth. It's like what Alien Face is saying right now. Adam Gase destroyed Sam. I agree. I don't know how. Now, would Sam ever have made it? We don't know. But, dude, you got to give the guy a coach. He didn't even have a coach. Jeremy Bates didn't give him a quarterback coach either. What the hell is that? That's an ass backwards organization. You trade 3 second-round picks to move up and grab this guy. You grab him, and you don't see the need in 2 separate coaching groups. Don't see the need to give him a coach? What is that? So, but so you pass on Deshaun Watson or Patrick Mahomes, for that matter, for a fucking safety. A box safety at that. Not even a Kyle Hamilton type. At least you would have, maybe he turns the ball over often. Jamal was not an interceptor, as we know. And then you follow that in the 2nd round with another safety. No quarterbacks, no. And then because you didn't do anything in the first 2 rounds, you double up in the next 2 picks and you take 2 wide receivers. It's like, it makes no sense, man. It makes no sense. And that's why, like, when we do reflect on this stuff, we have to remember where we started. A lot of people have trouble even separating the 2 rebuilds. They're completely different. As a matter of fact, Joe Douglas's first 2 years were tearing down the previous rebuild. Whatever the hell, if you want to even call it that, right? So It's crazy, man. What's this? What's this? I see another super chat over here. Oh, I agree, Gangrene. It was better. But here's the thing with Sam. I'll get right to you, Ablab. The thing with Sam Darnold, and I said this a million times if I said it once, the best case scenario for him would be to go to a team that has good offensive minds, a lot of weapons, protection, and sit him for at least the first half of the season. Let him decompress. Don't take him from this and put him in front of a different crowd and say, save us. You know what I mean? They threw him to the fire. He had 3 games in him where he dumped it off to McCaffrey the whole time. Then McCaffrey went down and it was over. Right? Like Sam Darnold needed a year, man. And look, maybe he comes back. You know, he ends up being like a backup for 4 or 5 years, gets his shot and ends up being a Steve Grogan. Right? One of those guys. Who's the other guy I'm thinking of from the Raiders? Is it Grogan? No. Who the hell is it? Something like that, though. It sounds like that. I can't believe how I'm tired in the brain. But lots of guys have, like, they settle down, they mature, and they come back later and they have great careers. Like Sam Darnold's not over. You don't have to retire. He can get backup jobs. You know, you to sit around as a backup quarterback for 3, 4, 5 years. Then the guy goes down, you get your chance to start, and you make good because you've learned so much. You know what I mean? If you had to be objective and non-biased, how would you rank these 3 in terms of talent? Fields, Trevor, Zach. I think it really hasn't changed for me. I think Trevor is number 1. I think Fields. You know what? Zach and Fields were interchangeable. Clearly, they're very, very different players, but I think Fields has a lot, man, that I like. The problem with Fields for me is that he does choose to run before he chooses to go to his third read. I don't like those quarterbacks because they never last. And that's what I think is going to happen with Lamar Jackson. I mean, he's so talented, but quarterbacks that run as much as him, they don't tend to make it. Now, I don't even remember what his injury was last year, but it happened. That's his second injury, I think. And this is the stuff that he's only going into his 4th or 5th year. So it's not like he's been around forever. You know, and it's like, I don't know. So Fields scares me. I got to say Zach. I do. Now, during the draft, Ablab, and I made this very clear, I would have been just as happy with Justin Fields as I was with Zack Wilson. The way I saw it was I like both of them. Zach freaks me out because I knew he was going to have a first year of sucking because he had no pressure in college. Nobody would believe me. You're fucking crazy, man. He's just as good under pressure. He wasn't. He struggled under pressure, and he was almost never under pressure. So when he came to the NFL, he had to adjust to that. Now, elite escapability. We love it. But the guy suffered in the same way that I knew he would. But Justin Fields freaked me out because of that, what I just said. He seems to want to run before he'll go through to his second, third read. He takes off quick. Now, he's got the talent to do that. And that's great. And he's got the arm strength. He's got everything you want. He's got the accuracy, but he's still changing that tendency is hard for these guys that are that talented with that's been saved them in the past. In the NFL, it's not going to save you in the same way. So I think, I guess I would just say in simple terms, Trevor, Zach, Fields, but there's obviously a lot of variables. Now, right now, I'm glad we have Zack Wilson. Make no mistake. I think he's the guy. I do. But, you know, don't forget what Trevor Lawrence is fucking dealing with down there, man. You know what I mean? He got drafted. Remember how they talked about the Jets shouldn't get him? Remember that? He shouldn't have to suffer through the Jets? Yeah? What do you think now? Urban Meyer? You know what I mean? Like, dude, look at what his rookie season was. It was incredible. And he was still, dude, he looked good at times, man. Now, he made a lot of sloppy mistakes and rookie shit and everything, but man, that kid is talented. The problem with Trevor Lawrence is whether or not he's got the ability to overcome these difficulties. He's not used to losing, man. Not used to that. And there were some concerns about his desire to play football long term. So I don't know. But other than that, I think Trevor Lawrence is what they talked about with him. He's great. 6'6", right? Something like that. I love 6'6". Let's see. Some guy, if Jets took at Allen, Jets would have never fixed the issues he had. Absolutely. No way in hell. That's the thing. With where we were, it's the same thing with, like, remember people said, we should have just paid for Cousins. Dude, Cousins didn't. We offered Cousins $90 million straight up. Guaranteed, no questions asked. He said no. You want to know why? Because he looked at this shithole team. He looked at the GM and said, I'm going to go there to die. No, I'd rather take $85 million over here. So, but it doesn't matter. If Kirk Cousins came here, he might have had a little bit better of a chance because he was already a vet and played for crappy teams, so he kind of knew how to do that. But Kirk Cousins, Josh Allen, Josh Rosen, Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, none of them were going to succeed here. Don't forget, man, we still wouldn't have hired him a quarterback coach. Josh Allen needed a lot of development, and you got to credit that coaching staff, Dable and the rest. They did it, man. They did it. They did the job that we're hoping we can do at Zack Wilson, because, man, Josh Allen he had a lot of warts, man. You know what I mean? So there's no way. I'm with you, some guy. There's just no way. Do I hit 50? I do. I do hit 50 this year. Saucy Susan. I do. Not yet, though. Not yet. We got some time. I'll still be in my 40s opening day. So, Paris says McCagnon should have waited to draft day, not a few days. It was like weeks before. I think it was 2 weeks before, wasn't it? Yeah, well, the thing is, if he waited till draft day and Sam Darnold slipped, it would have been more expensive. That's what I think how he did it was actually good. Would I do it? Probably not. I probably would have stayed there at 6 and just took who was there, because I didn't love one of the quarterbacks over the other. And I didn't hate Lamar Jackson like a lot of people did either. I didn't. But I didn't think too much of him, but I didn't think that he should have been the 32nd pick in the first round. I thought it'd be a mid-first. You know? Deli laughs and says Zack Wilson was a media hype. Yeah, I think so. That was definitely part of it. Remember the stuff people were saying that Zack Wilson is a hybrid of Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes. People threw that at me constantly. Like, I don't know, man. I see some tendencies. Sure, I see that. And I liked him. Look, you can't fake arm talent. You can't fake his accuracy. And you can't fake his leadership ability. They tried saying he wasn't a leader. It's not true. Matt interviewed the guy. It was one of the coaches out there or something. He said, dude, you don't know. Zack Wilson is everything that you want in a quarterback. But he was going to have problems. He was never under pressure. But I think there was lots of hype around him. But I still think he's going to make it. You know? I don't believe it, Deli. I don't think Joe Douglas is going to put his whole career online because JetBlue. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. I understand what you're saying, but it doesn't compute to me. Like, I think it's like that's small ball to me. It's like, I don't know, maybe. But I think Zack Wilson has everything you want in a quarterback. They loved him, but it was a lot of media hype too. Remember his pro day? He threw that ball and everybody was like, oh my God, look at that. Like, yeah, every quarterback does that in their pro day. But, I think he's got the chops. Yeah, Bryce Hall at safety, Patrick. I don't know. I've talked about that one a little bit. I've contemplated it a little bit. I don't know how I feel about it. Bryce Hall's never played safety. So that's, we're definitely reaching. Now, maybe they think with his ball skills, with his coverage ability, with his work ethic, and all the thing that he has, maybe they think he's perfect for free safety. Bryce Hall would do it. It's the kind of guy he is. But I think Bryce Hall is a very, very good cornerback. And clearly they thought we needed an upgrade, but maybe they're going to have 4 cornerbacks on the field more. Maybe they're going 2 linebackers, 4 cornerbacks, and a safety. Who the fuck knows? You know what I mean? So if they do that, it makes sense. But as far as Bryce Hall to safety, again, I think that's just us talking because there's nothing that would lead us that way. There's never been anything said. There's nothing in the past that leads us that way. What we do know is that Bryce Hall had 16 passes defensed in a season where the cornerbacks were on an island. They had no defensive line help. They had very little linebacker help. And he did a damn good job, man. He didn't come away with picks. That's what people say. Oh, he can't catch the ball. That's silliness. He can't catch the ball. It's silly. He's not Jamal Adams in that respect. He just didn't, because the type of coverages that he was in, and he was just getting passes defensed, But I'd be interested to see it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying no. I'm just saying there's nothing real that leads me to believe that we'll get there other than us just contemplating it. It's interesting though, Patrick. Hey, Cadoza, what's up, buddy? Let's see. San Francisco, Chicago, and New England would have all taken Zach at quarterback. Oh, yeah, I agree. I think San Francisco 100% would have taken Zack Wilson if we took Fields or Lance or whoever. 100%. Marshall says you got to continue to homeschool your guy. I know, man. Yeah, I mean, a moment, please. I don't know what the fuck is going on out there. I really don't. It's gut-wrenching to me. We don't have to get political or anything, but just a moment for those children. Like, I don't know. An elementary school should be off limits on every level. Every level. I don't understand. And it's gut-wrenching to me. So, I don't know. I'm very fortunate in that respect up to this point. At least on that, right? That I've been homeschooling my kids. I'm a homeschool dad right now. I teach I did algebra today. You believe that shit? I had to find the value of X. You know the last time I did that, man? But, yeah, those poor kids, man. Those poor parents, everybody. It's gut-wrenching, man. J.E. Allen, thank you for the super chat. He says, hey, Bean, what do you think about Becton not showing up for voluntary? I think they already told us he wasn't showing up during the owners' meetings. Remember that? Remember when, J.E., let me ask you. Do you remember when Saleh was asked at the owners' meetings if Becton, what was going on with Becton and everything? He said, Becton will be ready for training camp. And everybody went nuts. He's not ready for OTA, blah, 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 blah. Remember that? He already told us he's not coming. His wife's going to be giving birth, which he just did. Now, look, let me say it like this. Would I have preferred he did that just to shut everybody up? Yes. Sure. Am I in the slightest bit worried or looking at it as a negative? I'm not. It's voluntary for a reason. His wife just gave, or his girlfriend, whatever they are, she just gave birth the other day. He's working with his trainer and he's there with his wife. We didn't complain about Connor McGovern not going. His wife gave birth. We didn't complain about him. You know what I mean? Now, in fairness, maybe Connor McGovern he's not under the same scrutiny, but why? Why not? Why isn't Carl Lawson or Connor McGovern under the same scrutiny as Becton? Why? Well, again, Carl Lawson just had his third season-ending injury. Third. And we're completely confident in him. Becton, we've seen just as many workout videos of Becton. Just as many, if not more. I don't know. I think our media likes to make it a story, J.E. That's what I think. That's why when people say, hey, you shouldn't talk about them, fuck them. That's what I think. Why are they spending time to try to tear a young man down? He's 22 years old. Why are they doing that? You know? So again, would I prefer he's there? Sure. Sure, I would. Just if for nothing else, just shut everybody up already. Like the beat, you know? But let me tell you, it doesn't do anything for me. It's like, that's why these things are voluntary. You know, we had like 95% show, right? Isn't that pretty damn good? But, you know, like, look, when you look at it for real, like just take the stories away. You got two guys, their wives/girlfriends were about to give birth. This is Becton's first child. And he's in a rehab program with Duke Manyweather. It's like, is it a story? You know, it wasn't like she gave birth. She's given birth in 2 months. She was like any day, any week, whatever it was. And it happened. So I don't know, J.E. I'd be lying if I told you I wasn't concerned just because of all the concern everybody's created. Of course, I want nothing more than for Becton to step on the field and crack skulls all year. That's what I want. But like I said before, the same thing with like Jonah Williams. They did the same thing with him. He's a bust, blah, 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 blah. Jonah Williams is fine. So that's what I got for you, J.E. Allen. What's this? Mekhi Becton wants to do things his way. What does that mean? Again, it sounded to me like they knew he wasn't coming. That's what we already got upset at the owners' meetings. Then when it happened, they already told us he wasn't coming. And that they're in contact with Duke Manyweather. They talk to Becton every day, the whole thing. And then we got upset again. And then we're saying that it's, you know, do things his way. I mean, I think he's involved in a rehab program. I don't know. I don't know the specifics one way or the other. I do know that we're getting videos from Duke Manyweather talking about his program. He's working his ass off. He definitely doesn't look fat. He doesn't look out of shape. You know, I hope he comes in and fucking kills everybody. That's what I hope. You know, why? Because I would love it to just stop. Like, he's a 22-year-old kid that has already shown us he belongs on an NFL field. Who cares what Carl Lawson did to him in camp? He already showed us he can shut the Bosa brothers down and everybody else that played him. Did he shut Nick Bosa down, bro? Shut him down. And he's one of the premier. Those are some of the premier guys in this league. Becton shut him down. So, you know what I mean? He belongs. Like, well, even if he takes another year to get back, it sucks. But it's like the guy belongs. He's worth putting our faith in. He's worth at least supporting. Why do we want to get rid of him so bad? I don't know what that is. That's right, Marshall. It's not beneficial to beat him down. It makes no sense to me. I really don't understand it. I don't. Now, I understand people reading all these articles and being concerned if they think that that's the truth. Sure. Of course. That's why I don't read these guys. I don't read them. There's a few guys I read, you know, and every now and then something will fly across my computer screen, you know, and I'll read. It's not like I won't read. I don't seek anything, you know. I go to the Jets website. I read stuff like that. I'll read tweets and shit, but I'll read articles from Wyatt Hupton. I read articles from a few guys, you know, but nobody that's like a part of our beat. Like, I think our beat is the worst. I don't respect them. I don't. And if I ever get into the building and as a journalist or whatever, I'm going to ask questions that mean stuff. I'm not going to ask about their breakups and stupid shit like that. I'm going to ask real football questions. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'll do. You'll see. You'll see. Okay, what else? Clemens is a Scud missile? Well, I hope not, because the Patriots were able to take Scud missiles out of the sky, David Echeverry. Remember? But I'm with you. Patrick Sullivan, I live in North Carolina. Panthers offense crash and burn without CMC. That's when Sam burned along with the bad line. Absolutely. Dude, remember that game week 1? I don't remember the stats right now, but it was like, 80% of the offense was Christian McCaffrey. Right now, in their defense, that's a smart thing to do. You want to calm Sam, just bring him in slow, let him dump it off all day. Why not? It's working. He was getting 10 to 20 yards a clip on us. Why not? At the same time, when he was asked to go further down, a couple well-placed strikes, sure. But when Christian McCaffrey went down and Sam had to do more, it was over. Look how mad Robbie Anderson got at him. Remember that? Let's see what else we got on Twitter here before I go. Let's see what this is. Hold on. Who's this? Let me see.
Look what I got.
Whitehead. There's Elijah Moore. Who's that? Quinnen. Oh, yeah, looking good, Quinnen. There's CJ. There he is. There's the rook. There's Clemens. Thomas Hennessy. That's right. Best long snapper. There's JFM. There he is. Breece Hall, baby. That's right. Oh, I love it. You guys digging it? Let's look. What's this one? Is that another thing? Let's see what we got here. Pictures. There they are. Jeremy Ruckert and fam. Look at these guys, huh? How cool is it that he gets to sign his contract? So for his dad and his brothers and their family, they get to sit in the stand in the Jets facility while their son signs $1 million contract, and they get to do the Jets chant. You know what I'm saying? Dreams do come true, boys and girls. Who's this? DJ Montgomery and waived wide receiver Rodney Adams. Did you guys know about that? We should re-sign DJ Montgomery back. I don't know why. I think the guy's I'd rather go in a completely different direction. Oh, here they go. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. I wish they didn't get him counting. You know what I mean? They should have did it right.
Jets, 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 Jets.
And there it is. One more time.
Jets, 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 Jets.
Look how happy that dad is, man. Come on. It's everything. Jeremy Ruckert signed. What are these guys talking about? Let's see what we got here.
Yes, sir. Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Coming out strong, Mr. Laken Tomlinson. 78. Got to remember that. All right, let's see what we got here. Who's this?
OTA's phase 3, time to work.
Gordon Whitehead.
OTA's phase 3, time to work.
OTA's phase 3, time to work. There's ABT. Where is he? Is that in the Yankee game? Oh, it won't work. Who's this guy? Who is that? I don't know who that is. There's CJ Mosley. All right, let's watch this. All right.
Go in.
So at first it was more like me echoing what he's saying, and now it's like us coming together and like this is what I'm saying, and he's telling me this is what he's saying. So then we can correlate on it, and then like the same chemistry I got with me and my brother. Well, it ain't gonna be that strong, but hopefully we get to that point. But just that same chemistry, we can be on the same page and really like he knows what I'm thinking if I see something because I know how he sees it. So that's the biggest thing. But we hang off the field. The biggest thing for the off season is like, why are you playing football? So if I know my teammates why next to me, I know for if I catch him slacking or like if I'm making big plays, I got his back because I know what he's playing for, and he got my back because he know why I'm playing for. So at first it was more like me echoing what.
I like it. You know, Q is starting to sound good to me, guys. You know what I mean? He's starting to sound good. I like this Quentin Williams guy. Hey, Sonya, how you doing? Oh yeah, Clowney signed with the Browns today. Did he? I didn't hear that one. That's good. You guys got the makings of some studly, stuff going on. I think it's all about Deshaun Watson right now, but it's good. It's nice that you stopped by, Sonya. Good to see you. All right, last one. I'll do one or two more. I really feel our team is complete. Only questions are quarterback and coaches, head coach especially. GreenBean. Yeah, I agree. I feel the same way. I think like we don't know. We have a lot of questions because guys, we're so young, right? But as far as like team building, this is the first time I actually feel like we've done a good job. We've done a good job. Is it exactly what I would have done? No. But we still got a young wide receiver to go with our young wide receivers. We bolstered the offensive line. We got 2 tight ends and a third tight end to go with our 2 tight ends. Like, I'm psyched. We added Bryce Hall, a premium level running back. We don't know what he's going to be, but at least as far as his prospect status, premium. The defense, So it's like, I feel like you said, it's all about Zach. If we protect them, we got the weapons. Let's stop with the drop passes. Again, I'll remind everybody, he had the second most catchable balls dropped last year. That is, you can't live like that. You cannot have that, especially through his rookie struggles. He's going to have his own problem, which he did. But if he gets you the damn ball in your hand, you got to catch it, man. And he was betrayed by everybody. Berrios, Corey Davis, Elijah Moore, obviously Ty Johnson, even some Denzel Mims action. They all drop passes. Jeff Smith. It's crazy. But I feel the same way. I'm not convinced. I'm not like sold yet on Robert Saleh. I'm hopeful. And I have reason in my brain. I at least have supporting reasoning to be hopeful. But I'm not convinced yet. I feel good about LaFleur. I like Middleton. I like Tony Oden. I don't know about Albrecht yet. So it's going to be interesting, man. All right, let's get one more comment here. Let's see. Yeah, well, I'll get another one after this. But yeah, as far as Sonya, I mean, Sonya said that she thinks that he's going to be suspended too. Yeah, I'm glad you're here, Sonya. Really, it's nice to have peaceful fans of other teams pop in. Some people come in and go, "You fucking suck, man." It's like, you know what I mean? What is that? But yeah, I think Deshaun Watson's going to be suspended. But the good news, at least from our perspective, is that even if he's suspended on the light side, like 2 to 4 games, that's still where we play. So, I mean, look, they have studs all over the place, so it's not like they're going to crumble. But I think quarterback's pretty important, I've heard. And if they have Jacoby Brissett in there, we can take advantage of that. And it would be good, man. Like, hey, why can't we catch some breaks? It's bad enough they gave us the whole friggin' AFC North in the first 4 games, followed by the Bills and the Pats. And it's like, hello, can you give us a breather here? So if we get a breather week 2, at least it's not Deshaun Watson, hey, I'll take it while we're trying to get our wheels and our engine going here. All right, let's see what else we got. Richard from Jersey. Yeah. Bryce is going to be a killer. Dude, I agree, man. And I love Michael Carter. I do. I love him. I love that he's on this team. I think he's so talented, such a great teammate and person to be around and all that stuff. But man, oh man, Breece Hall with Michael Carter, it's like about time, dude. Why are we always like filtering these late round scrubs that, that were, 4-year vets? They just got cut and we sign them for a year. Like, I'm sick of it. We have 2 young running backs to go with whoever else we keep. I am a fan of Pirine. I think they should absolutely keep Pirine. Ty Johnson can go. I don't know why why you trust him. He's bad in pass protection, and he dropped 5 passes, 4 of which were first down. 4. I think he may drop 7 passes. It's either 5 or 7. He dropped 5 or 7 passes. 4 were on third down. How do you keep that guy around? That's not me. But I just like to see LaMichael Pirine have a good camp because I think he's the best out of the group that's left. I know a lot of people disagree, but nobody has any reasons. They just don't like him. He's slow. He's this. He's that. He's none of those things. That's what I'm rooting for. I think having Michael Pirine is a very, very good blocker, pass protection, super soft hands. He's a solid running back. So I think having him at 3 or 4 would be better than Ty Johnson or any, who knows? We've got this undrafted free agent kid, this Bam Walter, whatever his name is, Bam Morris. I don't know. But maybe he comes and does side. It'd be great too. But at the top, we got Breece Hall and we got Michael Carter, and I am psyched. And we got Tevin Coleman as a vet, but I would like to see wrapped up with the Michael Pirine. That's the guy I'm rooting for. If not, and it is what it is. But, Tevin Coleman's a nice vet to have. And they clearly love him, clearly. All right. So, there was a special on Watson tonight? Yeah, it's interesting. On HBO. I'm going to look for that. See what it is. Not tonight, of course. Yeah, so Sonia says 4 games. I'm 10. I think that's what's going to happen too. It might in the NFL, they can go either way on this in my mind. So Sergeant Mike checking in, he says 12-5 with 2 blowouts of the Pats. That'd be great. That'd be great. All right, last one. Cadoza. He says Michael Carter will be our high end. Leon Washington Hall will be our Curtis. Dude, that would be fantastic. Wouldn't it be great to have like one of the running backs like leading the league in something? Again, we had that. We had it before. So I'm psyched about it. Guys, we're going to wrap this up. It's now 2 hours and 17 minutes into the After Hours Jets Fest. I told you guys an hour. It happens. So, guys, listen, I thank you for you being here. It's always fun to hang out with you guys in a little bit more of a laid-back setting, especially after the 2-hour Talking Jets panel. But I'm glad you guys are here. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. Simple, one-click subscribe button. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for getting me over 7,000 so early in this thing. I'm very, very grateful. If you would like to get in on some private stuff, exclusive content, hangs, and classic games and everything that we do, you can join my Patreon. It's the Beanbaggers. It's right in the top of the description, and I do appreciate it. What are you doing? What are you doing? All right, guys, with that all said, have a fantastic night, and I'll see you guys for the Thursday thick of it, okay? With Frankie and Y2K and Jeremy and everybody. But you guys have a good night. Thanks for hanging out with me.
I think he's going to be day one, a violent vertical edge setter.